Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's James here at the studios in Vancouver, British Columbia, bringing you huge news about the foreign interference and the transnational repression on the behalf of India. Yes, the India government is being called out very publicly, and this is vindication for Sikhs around the world. The Sikh diaspora here in Canada and in other nations have been screaming very loud about the involvement of the level of government in India partaking in criminal activity in Canada. This not only includes the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, but also other apparent investigations into the High Commissioner for Canada from India, as well as other diplomats who have been involved in other criminal cases, including extortion, violence, and other murder cases. You heard it right. There are more than one murder investigations across the country that are linking and pointing at India. Now, this is in contrast to what India is currently reporting or started reporting when this news broke. They were claiming that they were recalling their foreign diplomats due to concerns about safety and security here in Canada. Now, today, the unprecedented level of stipulation under the Vienna Convention is to remove diplomats from a country. Now, this is after Canada attempted to request from India that the diplomatic immunity be waived for these 6 individuals so they could be questioned by the federal law enforcement agency in Canada, the RCMP. They wanted to get to the bottom of the involvement of these diplomats directly in criminal activity on Canadian soil. There is, as I said, extortion. There are several murders. There is violence. There are threats against persons and safety. And this is not only about threats to Canadian citizens at the private level, but right up to the head of the NDP government for Canada, the NDP Party of Canada, Jagmeet Singh. Now, these issues have been brewing for some time, ever since last September, when Justin Trudeau called out India in the Parliament of Canada, saying that there is a real incredible link between India, between the Indian agents and Mr. Nijjar's death. But today the bombshell was that there are many other investigations, up to several dozen of them around Canada or across Canada, that are linked directly to the High Commissioner and other diplomats that are here in Canada. Now, of course, India was saying that this was completely false. They were recalling, as I said, these diplomats due to safety and security concerns, while at the same time going tit for tat with the Canadian government by expelling Canada's High Commissioner to India, as well as other diplomats there. This has been a battle for the Sikh diaspora, not only in Canada, but around the world. And the RCMP, the Public Minister of Safety, and the Prime Minister of Canada today confirmed that not only are they involved in this foreign interference, in this transnational repression here in Canada, but that they are using the same tactics are in other countries around the world. So this is going to be interesting to follow. I know that the RCMP have been working with their counterparts in the US, the FBI, to look at other cases and investigations. The Hardeep Singh Nijjar murder is being handled as one investigation, while there is other foreign interference and transnational repression investigations happening on another level. Now, this is incredible news, because over the last several decades, India has been working their way to be recognized as the world's largest democracy. They have been working to build trade and to build friendly relations with Canada and other nations in the Western world. And this now is really explosive, showing that it could potentially take India back decades in their international diplomacy and their international relations. Now, we have gone into the press briefings. We've gone in depth of this story with today's episode of Perspectives on Satluj TV. So I encourage you to watch it. It's a long episode today, but it is well worth the watch. We review a lot of the information. We bring the truth out, and we're going to have more information as it continues coming out in the coming days on further episodes. So I really encourage you to watch, perspectives on Satluj TV. You can find it on YouTube, youtube.com/Satluj TV. That's SATLUJ TV. Or there on YouTube, sorry. Or you can find it on the Satluj TV network. If you do get that channel in your region, I again encourage you to watch it because it not only has implications here in Canada, but around the globe. The Sikh diaspora has been screaming for years about the foreign involvement of not only diplomats, but others on behalf of the government spy agencies and other agencies throughout India. India again has refuted the accusations, and they are instead claiming that it is just Justin Trudeau trying to gain points in the upcoming election next year. However, it should be very clear that this is not the case. There are threats and instances that involve different political parties in Canada, but also it's in connection and keeping with the international treaties, as well as in cooperation with the Five Eyes countries that Canada works with for intelligence. So this, again, is a huge story. We're going to be following it in the coming days, but I encourage you to watch today's episode of Satluj TV's Perspectives, where Angus and I will cover in depth this story, the information that came out, and we will be following it in the days to come. This, again, is massive information. It's an unprecedented step at the maximum level of the Vienna Convention, where the diplomats are expelled from a nation, especially when it comes to being on the grounds of criminality in our country against Canadian citizens on Canadian soil. So again, I encourage you to watch it on Satluj TV on YouTube or on your TV network if you get the channel. Once again, this is James Cousineau coming to you from the studios here in Vancouver, British Columbia.